Hi guys, it's me again. So I was reading through my wardrobe for another video, and in it I found a corset I made years ago, and I was trying it on, and I was thinking, this makes it look like an absolute sack of potatoes. I think it's time to challenge my skills and my making abilities, and we're gonna learn how to make a corset properly following some online tutorials on the correct materials to be using because I didn't know then what I was doing. I only used one layer of brown pleather and a layer of denim for the lining, and I only used two steel bones at the side panels, I think. Not very much structure, very poorly put together, if I'm honest. It did the job at the time, and I didn't know how to make it better. I just liked how it had come out. So it's a good challenge for myself to compare my making abilities from back then when I was still kind of learning how to do things like that to now where I feel like I actually know more or less what I'm doing and can follow instructions to improve my skills as I go along. The idea is to be steampunk inspired. I have a whole load of gears that my partner got me for my birthday. By rooting this out in the cupboard, I went, oh, those gears would look cool on a corset. I think I did make it with the leather first, so we're going to make it again. The plan was to go to the fabric shops and find more pleather because I liked the contrast of the texture of the leather as well as whatever I was going to build the outfit with. But while we were in the fabric shop, I spotted this really interesting looking material, which turned out to be this taffeta. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Really fancy looking fabric. Very high end material. Taffeta is very good for a statement item. Let's get making. Okay, so what's most important in every sewing project is to make a mock-up in a similar weight fabric to get an idea of how everything fits so you can make any modifications before you use your nice, good fabric. So here I'm just using calico cotton, which has a bit of a weight to it just to see where everything is. The waistline should match exactly where my waistline is as I'm showing on the pattern. And then it's time to make it out of coutil, which is a corseting fabric, which is very structured. And then after that, we start putting in the boning. I'm using a grosgrain ribbon to sew into the waist of the corset. This is called a waist tape. And what it does is it provides extra structure and support on the part of the corset that's going to take the most stress. This is the part where it's going to define my waist size, and it's going to be where all of the strength is going to come from. Okay, so now we have boning channels are in. I've used plastic boning on these, which means I can just sew straight through. It doesn't matter about the seams being visible because this is my inner layer, so it'll all get hidden once we are finished. So now I just need to make a boning channel for this one and this one for my spiral steel bones. They are too short, but obviously the corset will be smaller once I've done my seams on the outsides. And I'll double check that with my patterning before I go too much further, but I'm going to get these in and get them done. And then I need to cut a lining for this, assemble the lining, assemble the outer layer, and then sandwich it all together. So I've cut leather strips from the eyelets of my old corset, and I'm going to put them in 1, 2, 3 on my fourth panel. So the plan is here, if you can see. I don't know how well you can see because I'm trying my best to. I'm going to split open the seam on panel 4. I'm going to sew these channels in, blub and then relace it, and it should look something Here's one I made earlier. Should look something like this when I'm done. So you see the corset panels are just plopped in. I wasn't sure how the two would look together with the leather and the taffeta, but actually, texture-wise, it just makes them more interesting to look at. And also the gold ribbon I wanted to keep. The hardware will have to go back in at some point. I haven't decided quite the order I'm going to do that in. But let's just plop this, slice it up and plop it back in and go from there.
So many times you have pushed yourself, never to fall too deep. The stones on the ground show an empty face, their usual gathering. You hear a voice in the distance for sweet little words and a perfect echoing. It says, I am with you. I am with you in pain and in victory. Please know for sure that you're not alone. I am with you, your dearest polarity, waiting ashore.
So I have marked with my busk outside of each segment where the busk is going to sit. We're going to stitch up until these lines up to here, and then we're going to leave a little gap for this to slot in. We're also going to make a little hole for the busk to slip through, and then we will insert 1/2. So I'm sewing my lining and my coutil to the outer fabric. So when I flip it round, my lining will be on the inside, my coutil will get hidden in the inside, and my outer fabric will be on the top. I'm hoping that makes some sense. Okay, so we have stitched. I'm now going to slide in my busk, and you can see what's going on here. So I'm going to slide in my busk. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. And then when I fold my right side over, look at that. Beautiful. And then what we will do is we just make sure that all the way out, all the way out. We stretch out our fabric a little. Look at that, gorgeous. As you see how not the entire busk is out. There's still a little bit poking out this side. So some of the holes aren't quite big enough, or aren't pushed all the way in, either or. That's better. Okay, and once we're happy with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find the edge of the busk. Be very careful here, because you could easily break your needle. But we're going to make a stitch to encase it.
The winds will be crude when they hit my face. I look them in the eye. Courageous and proud like my figurehead when the waves are high. I remember the voice in the distance sing like a perfect echo word. I am with you in pain and in victory. Please know for sure that you're not alone. I am with you, your dearest polarity, waiting ashore forevermore.
season has come out. Oh my gosh, check me out. Yeah, pirate bitch. That looks a bit silly, but that is how pirate hats look. Should I have it more? No, definitely not pointed upwards. Definitely just got to plop on your head like this. Silver on the hat to match the silver on here, and the silver on the bust. And now I think of the chalk, but I need to figure out a way to capture all of me. Very close up. Super extreme close up. I need a sword. Nope, that's less somehow. You can't see my feet.